Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon. Thanks a lot once again for joining the Watchlist program at Magenta Trade. And let's have a quick look at the market as we speak. Dow is down by only 50 points as of now. S&P 500 down by 45 points, and NASDAQ is down by massive 298 points, 2.59%. Good afternoon once again. We are from Magenta Trade and welcome you to the Watchlist program on 24th of May. And today is a Tuesday afternoon. At Magenta Trade, we teach you how to grow your portfolio using option trading strategies. We explain in simple terms how you can participate in the world-leading companies with a fraction of the amount that you would need as normal investment. In the vast ocean of stock market, there are plenty of opportunities to gain from the movement of share prices every day. However, market is unpredictable, volatile, and sometimes complex to understand. In order to be successful, you need a disciplined, rule-based approach developed over a longer period of experience in the market and focused on building a long-term portfolio to protect your hard-earned money. But first, let's have a quick look at the disclosures. Before that, let me share my screen. Here it is. All our discussions at Magenta Trade are solely for educational and information purposes. We are not investment advisors, and you should consult a financial advisor before making any investments. We are not finance professionals, and we are not aware of your personal financial circumstances. Options trading involve exceptional gains, but at the same time, they pose inherent risks. Past results are no guarantee of future gains. For more disclosures, you can visit our website, www.magentatrade.com. Now, a quick few words about me. I've been doing trading for more than 15 years now. I've turned my personal trading passion and experience into professional coaching, and recently we have formed the company Magenta Trade to share with you my strategies of success in trading using simple terms and techniques. My favorite areas of coaching are trade management and money management. I personally prefer trading options because there are immense potential around it, and I help you to understand how they might help you build a steady and reliable retirement income stream. As a coach, I focus on a daily routine, follow simple rule-based strategy, use simple tools to enter and exit the trades, and manage your positions in 15-20 minutes every day. Okay, now let's have a quick look at some of the earnings that we have reported earlier today. Advanced Auto Parts, which declared their first quarter March 2022 earnings yesterday after hours, with an earnings of $3.57 per share on a revenue of $3.4 billion. The expectation was more or less the same, and the revenue grew overall 1.3% year-on-year basis. The stock is currently down mildly by 1.5%. The company said it now expects 2022 earnings of $13.30 to $13.85 per share, and continues to expect a revenue of $11.2 billion to $11.5 billion. These guidelines are more or less in the line with the previous estimates or previous forecast by the company, and so it's not a major change from what was expected as such. In terms of comparable store sales, they increased by 0.6%, and comparable store sales increased by 25.3% on a 2-year stack. Returned over $400 million cash to shareholders in the buyback. Gross profit increased 1.5% to $1.5 billion. Adjusted gross profit increased 6.6% to $1.6 billion. Operating income decreased 19.4% to $203.3 million. And the diluted EPS, earning per share, decreased 19.6% to $2.26 compared with $2.81 in the first quarter of 2021. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Best Buy declared their first quarter April 2022 earnings with $1.57 per share on revenue of $10.6 billion. Estimates were more or less in line. The revenue of the company fell 8.5% compared to the same quarter a year ago. The company said it expects a fiscal 2023 earnings of $8.40 to $9 per share on revenue of $48.3 billion to $49.9 billion. The company's previous guidance was a bit higher at $8.85 to $9.15 per share on revenue of $49.3 billion to $50.8 billion. And in terms of some other details, comparables sales decreased 8% compared to 37.2% growth in first quarter of financial year 2022. In terms of operating income, GAAP operating income as a percentage of revenue in the first quarter of 2022 is 4.3% as against 6.6% a year ago. Okay. Domestic revenue of $9.89 billion decreased by 8.7% versus last year, primarily driven by a comparable sales decline of 8.5%. So that's a Best Buy, and the stock is currently more or less at the same level, down by 0.4%, I would say. So that's in this market, that's more or less the same, or you can say a flat. The next one is Autozone earnings, the third quarter. May 2022 earnings of $29.03 per share on revenue of $3.9 billion. Whereas the expectation was around $25.87 per share with a revenue of $3.7 billion. So it is much better than the expectation. Revenue grew 5.9% year on year, and the share is currently up by 3.37%. The company said, we are very proud to report solid same-store sales growth on top of last year's remarkable 28.9%. Both our retail and commercial sales performance exceeded our expectations this quarter, while our commercial sales growth accelerated 26.0%. Our retail sales also remained healthy considering the tough comparison from a year ago. For the quarter, gross profit as a percentage of sales was a 51.9%, decrease of 54 basis points versus the prior year. Operating expenses as a percentage of sales were 31.58% versus 30.44% last year. Under its share repurchase program, Autozone repurchased 449,000 shares of its common stock for $900 million during the third quarter, at an average price of $2,006 per share. So that itself, is a bit higher than the current share price. And in terms of some other details, during quarter ended May 7th, 2022, Autozone opened 24 new stores. In the US, opened 4 stores in Mexico and 3 stores in Brazil. As of 7th of May 2022, the company had 6,115 stores in the US, 673 in Mexico, and 58 in Brazil. Autozone is the leading retailer and distributor of automotive replacement parts and accessories in the Americas. Each store carries an extensive product line for cars, sport utility vehicles, vans, and light trucks, including new and manufactured automotive hard parts, maintenance items, accessories, and non-automotive products. Okay, let's move on to the next one. That's Ralph Lauren's. Ralph Lauren reported fourth quarter March 2022 earnings of 49 cents per share on revenue of $1.5 billion. Estimates were the earnings per share of 30 cents per share on revenue of same $1.5 billion. The share price is up by 1.2% currently. And the overall revenue grew 18.3% year on year. The company said it expects the first quarter revenue of approximately $1.49 billion and fiscal 2023 revenue of approximately $6.72 billion, which is more or less in line with the expectation. Even the revenue expectation was a little bit lower, $6.4 billion earlier. Ralph Lauren, as you know, is a big brand. The company designs, markets, and distributes men, women, and children's apparel, accessories, fragrances, and home furnishings. Overall, the company reported double-digit growth across all regions. Full year fiscal 2022 revenues of $6.22 billion exceeded fiscal 2020 pre-pandemic levels. North America post-reset turnaround strongly underway with full-year revenues increasing 49% and significant operating margin expansion, including substantial strategic investment for long-term growth. They delivered better than expected fourth quarter and full-year adjusted operating margin and full-year operating profit margin profit growth of more than 30% to fiscal 2020. Also, the company continued to return value to shareholders with a repurchase of 3.7 million shares in full year fiscal 2022. The board of directors approves 9% dividend increase as well. Okay. Let's move on to quickly about a few words in for Magenta Trade. At Magenta Trade, we base our strategies on three dimensions of investment: long-term capital growth, building a retirement portfolio over a longer period of time, generating regular income using stocks and options trading strategies, and ensuring your capital is adequately protected against severe market downturns so that your hard-earned money is not wasted in adventure. Now, let's have a quick look at some of the returns lately. SPX gain of 15.38% in 5 days. I'm just reading out the highlighted ones, not repeating the previous ones. Qualcomm gain of 12.5% in 10 days. Accenture gain of 10.67% in 10 days. And AMD gain of 13.5% in just 8 days. More trades are in progress, and let's see when our weekly SPX trade closes this week. It's already in profit. Just have a need to have a look at when it closes as such. Okay, at Magenta Trade, we believe you should be confident of why you are investing using specific criteria of entry and exit, following effective proven strategies to grow your portfolio and safeguarding your capital from the massive volatility in the market. You should always look for opportunities in the market where the stocks are going up, down, or sideways. Our strategies should consider all scenarios that market presents to us. To explore new trading opportunities every day at Magenta Trade, we teach you how to follow the simple steps to explore and invest in stocks and options following clearly defined rules to trade management, entry, and exit. Practice the simple steps, use the available tools and resources, follow the rules so that the process becomes mechanical and efficient. Investment is a process of consistently applying the techniques that we teach on a regular basis and aim for success with perseverance and analysis. Even when the odds are against you, you need to follow the rules to protect yourself and maintain discipline to attain a better long-term results. Finally, investing is a process of continuous learning. There's no better investment than educating yourself with better strategies and techniques. At Magenta Trade, our complete focus is in educating the investors and traders so that they can find new opportunities by themselves and do their best with their investment. In our options trading masterclass program, we start from the beginning. We teach you the fundamentals of options trading factors, factors determining the pricing of options, how the options help you make a significant gain using small investment, and how you can protect your traditional investment in stocks and make regular income in your portfolio. We follow a step-by-step approach for entry and exit in different market conditions to explore trading opportunities. Our rule-based strategies help you to find profitable trades using simple tools and techniques. We teach you how to manage your trades on a daily basis based on developing market conditions. In order to handhold you in this learning curve during the program, we help you with live trading sessions where we make real life trading and show you the positions that we are trading. Okay, for more information on our courses and learning material, please visit our website www.magentatrade.com. In this watchlist program, we navigate through the market, discuss about earnings, major announcements, and market developments, and we browse through some of the stocks that we keep on adding in our watch list. Okay, so let's get started. What's happening in the market, and I will switch off my video now so that you can see the full screen. Of course, I'll be in the background and discussing with you. Let's quickly move on to the charts. As you can see, the NASDAQ is on a route today. Once again, it's down by 2.4%, 2.5%, almost 284 points. The major support level for NASDAQ is around 9,000 level, right? 9,847. So that's our major support level that we see for some time now. Well, of course, if it goes down there, it is another almost a 10% there. But that's quite possible. There was a major support level earlier at those 12,000 levels, but now the level of 9,847 or even 10,000 psychological level would be a would be the potential support or the major next stop. So it will be around another 1,400 points if it falls or if it falls from there. And today's 11,092 point was actually very close to the 52-week low. So that's something interesting. Currently, it is 11,258, but it went up to 11,092, earlier today. So that's about a NASDAQ. Now, if we go to S&P 500, it's down by 1.68%. And as you can see, it is just following the bearish channel for the last few, like since 29th of March, for the last couple of months now. It's just following the bearish channel. And it's not even trying to break the channel even once. That's the whole time. It's just following the pattern, and that's why our SPX trade has become so successful over the last few weeks. It is always successful, but it is more so in these particular environment. So it's almost creating like a flag like a pattern. And unless that pattern is, broken anytime soon, we are not sure. Like it would probably continue that downslide because the next level of support that we see is at 3594, which is another let's say 300 points only. And if it keeps on falling every week by 100 points or so, it's not more than 2-3 weeks. So if you see in terms of the weekly fall of S&P 500, that's been quite predictable now. Dow is down by 180 points now, 0.5%. And again, it follows the same pattern for the same channel, as you can imagine. If you want me to draw, that is fine. So same channel, you can say here, little bit maybe higher. Let's say, how about you do this, right? And right. Well, it's not very brilliant drawing, but you can see the pattern is there, to follow. So unless the top end breaks there, it is more or less, it is just following that pattern of downward movement. Let's see, we'll try to find out the next support level, maybe somewhere around 30,000 or even less than that. Yeah, probably I would say 29,000 would be the potential support on Dow. Somewhere around that. And that is at the level of November 2020. So that's the interesting part, 18 months earlier. So that's the support level we're looking for Dow. Okay, dollar index is also down by 0.23%, and VIX volatility index is again up by 4.3%. Gold is up by 0.6%, silver is up by 0.9%, the oil is down by, gold is up by 0.6%, silver is up by 1%, and oil is down by 0.36%. In terms of some of the currencies, as you can see, euro is up against the dollar by 0.3%, pound is down by 0.6%, and yen is up by 0.8% against the dollar. Bitcoin is up by 0.24%, and Ethereum is down by 1.4% more or less. Okay, now let's look at some of the stocks. So one stock we did not discuss, the earnings. Maybe we can discuss it now. Snap had an earnings, right? Let me have a quick look. The parent company of Snapchat. Okay. Okay, so they did not actually publish the earnings, but they said that the company just reported off the other than the quarterly briefings. They reported that they are unlikely to meet revenue and earnings estimates in the current quarter, and accordingly the stock actually plummeted 42%, as you can see there. And let me just see the CEO Evan Spiegel warned on Monday in a note to the employees. Basically, the macro environment has deteriorated further and faster than we anticipated when we issued our quarterly guidance last month. And the company is also slowing down the hiring process through the end of this year in order to manage the expenses. and part of the letter was also filed with the SEC today. In the April first quarter earnings, the company said it expected between 20 to 25% year-on-year growth in revenue, but that is going to fall now. So the Snapchat, one of the reasons they cited is their, continuous changing in the privacy settings by Apple, or the uncertainties behind those privacy settings in Apple, that as a key driver for this lack of growth in terms of their ad revenues. So that actually is a major factor in the earnings or in the stock value, and with that fall of 42% on Snapchat, other social media companies or other companies, technology companies like say Meta is Facebook is down by 7%, or maybe more than that now. Let's have a quick look. Facebook is down by 8.8% now, and even Apple is down today. Apple is down by 2.5%. Let's look at Twitter quickly. Sorry, my laptop is slow today. So Twitter is down by 5.6%. Pinterest, PENS, it's down by 25%, almost 24.4% today, and all on this back of can say the announcement by Snapchat. Google is down by 5.5%, and company Trade Desk is down by almost 20%, 19% today, just on this backup of this major news today. So that is why this particular guidance is significant today for the market, and that has dragged the NASDAQ quite a bit, and currently NASDAQ is down by 2.5%. Netflix is also down by 4.8%. Nvidia is down by 4.8% again, and let's see, Tesla is also down by 7.5%. Okay, let's move on to some of the other news. So that was a major news by Snapchat. Also, the shares of Roblox, RBLX, down by more than 11% after the Atlantic Equities downgraded their stock to neutral. The other one is Abercrombie and Fitch. Abercrombie and Fitch company. The stock is down by 30.6% after the company reported that freight and product cost weighed on sales for the fiscal first quarter in their earnings. So let's have a quick look at the earnings. Earnings per share was loss of 27 cents per share, whereas the expectation was 2 cents of profit at least. And the revenue has been reported at $812.76 million, which actually exceeded the expectation, but the other numbers are not favorable. The company also slashed its sales outlook for the fiscal 2022 and mentioned that economic headwinds could remain through at least the end of the year. Okay, Omnicom Group. Omnicom Group is down by more than 8.8%. After a revenue warning from Snapchat caused concern about the digital ad market in general. Yeah, so that's this fall of Omnicom is also related to the Snapchat announcement. Let's look at some of the positive result, that is Zoom. Zoom surged by more than 5.7% after their earnings announcement today. Earnings per share was $1.03, and the revenue was also in line with the expectations. In terms of other financials, let's see, the company reported better earnings. Net income was $1.38 billion and much higher than the. Okay, let's look at the more Zoom financials, and let's look at the quarterly numbers quickly. And gross profit is $814 million as against previous year-on-year quarterly revenue of $582 million. So that's a significant growth there. Okay, so Zoom actually announced much better results for this quarter. The stock is currently up by almost 5.5%. The other company, let's say Petco, also reported better than expected results, and the shares are up by 3.53%. Their earnings was 17 cents per share, and revenue was $1.47 billion. The other company that we could discuss is Snowflake. Again, their earnings results are expected in a couple of days. The share is currently down by 8.3%, and it is at the 52-week bottom now. If you see the price of the stock, which is at 52-week low today, and is significantly down from the 52-week high of $405. So there is strong deterioration in value in the last few months. And if we see when it was listed, the list price was around $230. So it is below its IPO price as well. So that is interesting. Well, the stock has a strong potential of turnaround. So Snowflake, let's look at quickly. Let's log into our trading portal interactive brokers screen. Just give me a few seconds. Let me log into the interactive brokers screen so that we can discuss a scenario. But before that, I would also like to discuss some chart patterns there. And let's say, let me increase the. So here, quickly, if I, okay. So we are opening the interactive brokers screen. I would like to discuss the opportunities with Snowflakes quickly. But before that, okay, let's discuss Snowflake since it has already opened. So if we would like to buy some call options, let's say expiring January 2023, and if we expect the previous high price was 407. So if you look at the chart, the previous high, a 52-week high was 405. Now, if we expect that the share price even goes back to, let's say, $300, let's say, just for argument's sake, which is still, 25% below the 52-week chart. So if we expect it would go back to $300, so we could actually buy $300 call price at maybe at around $5.70. So if we buy that at $5.70, then we could actually and if the share price goes back to let's say $300 there, so that $5.70, sorry, my bad. Let's say the stock price goes back to 300, right? So we can buy the 250 call option. Snow. Why I am not? Right. Let's have a quick look now. So we are talking about January 20. My apologies there. Earlier, I was looking at Signature Bank. That is another opportunity there. But let's say Snowflake, current market price is 127. We are expecting the stock could go up to $300. So what we can do, we can buy $250 call option, or even we could buy a 200 call option at $11. $11.50 expiring January 2023. Now, if the stock goes to 300, then obviously we could gain almost $90 on that. $90 per share. So that would become $9,000. So with an investment of $11, the profit could be $90. So that's the potential there. So if we buy the call option at $11.50, the profit could be, if the stock price goes to, let's say, 300, the profit could be there around $90, and that could happen, let's say, in next 6 months, January 20. So that's pretty interesting, and that could be worked as a strategy. Let me show you what could be the potential scenario there. Sorry, I need to change it to buy. So if we buy that $200 call option, and let me show you the profitability graph there. If the share price, let's say we are looking at somewhere around, say December, Christmas, let's say December 25, and the stock price goes to somehow it's not reflecting the correct stock price. So if the stock goes up by, we're buying $200 strike price, underlying price becomes 166. No, we need to have it better than that. Okay. Say, can we change this? Okay, we cannot change this one. Okay, so that's what we are talking about. Even if it is, so if it goes to 200, so which is more than 30%, but here we cannot see that. Yeah, so that would be an aggressive aggressive trade. So if we buy at 1170, it could go up to $90. But let's say if we do it at current price, the price is still $33. So in other words, the market is expecting the stock at this current level will have a growth of at least 1/4, which is 25%. Okay. And the IV is 78.7% for these snowflakes. Okay. So that's on Snowflake. Now, the other one we wanted to discuss in terms of chart patterns was kind of hammer setup. Now, let's say Arista network. Arista network. Yeah, there was a sort of hammer setup here, but not today. Also, Bumble. Yeah, so that setup is also not there today. Okay, now in terms of volume, let's look at some of the volumes of Apple shares is at 80 millions as of now. Another half an hour left, so it is much below than the 10 days average. Accenture down 1.7%, and the volume is much less than 10 days average. Yeah, so the volume is much less today, other than, of course, Snapchat. In case of Snapchat, the volume was significantly higher because of that news. So in case of Snapchat, the volume was 237 million, whereas average 10 days volume is 51 million shares. Let's look at some of the other volumes. Let's say Facebook or Meta. What was the volume there? 42 million Facebook, and it is significantly down. Average volume was 28 million shares for Meta. Let's say Pinterest. The volume is 53 million, and average volume for 10 days is 17 million shares. So those are the significant volume surge today, and based on all discussion about Snapchat. Now let's look at some of the interesting movements. MACD is actually up by 2.8%. So that's interesting. And the volume is also significantly high. So probably there is, and definitely there is a breakout from the bearish pattern there. Let's see. Now, if we consider this the trend line, I would consider this as more the trend line. So there is a potential the company breaks through this trend line there. This could be a breakout trade. That's interesting. I'll delete this line and I'll just make it little bit visible better. So that's MACD. Stock is up by 2.8%. So if we look closely, what would be the resistance level for this one? The first resistance level is the chart pattern there. And actually, there are many levels here. But I would say probably, this 260 would be the next resistance level if it crosses the 50 EMA, which is currently at 245. So if it breaks that level, and also it is similar to the trend line. So if it breaks that level of 245, then there is a significant potential to maybe higher. But before that can happen, there are a few considerations here. First of all, what are the possibilities? If it breaks out from this 245 level, and then it goes up to, and then it can, first the next day's bar, that is tomorrow's bar, has to close above 245. And if it closes above 245, then it has got a potential to go up to 260. Or what could happen is tomorrow, the price actually once again, retrace back from here, because this is the resistance here. And if it, falls back again, then it can go back to again level of 220 or something like that, or maybe 217. So that is also a possibility there. So let's draw that. So this is like this. It can come down, and Okay. Yeah, so that is a possibility there, that it will come down to 217 level. Maybe we can draw like this. So 217 is this level, let's say. Okay, so let's see, whether the fall is sharp or a little bit wider, but that is a possibility as well. So that's MACD. Now let's look at some of the other stocks. Most of the stocks are significantly down today. Even Applovin is down by 15.9% today, and the volume is also significantly high. It's around the average of 10 days. AMD is also down by 4.38%, $90.80. Akamai Technology is actually up by 0.5%. Crocs is also down by around 10% today. Okay. So that's about it then, because most of the stocks are down. IBM is up by 1.9%. That's interesting. JP Morgan is up by 1.2%. Now Citibank is also down or flat. Upstart is down by 14%. Tesla, we discussed, down by 7.5%. Electronic Arts is up by 2%. That's interesting as well. And Revolve, we discussed earlier, it's down by almost 10%. So I think that's about it. Let's see, we'll try to find out some more chart patterns for tomorrow, and maybe some trade ideas as well. Thanks a lot for joining today. Enjoy the rest of the day. Obviously, the market is not enjoyable anymore at all. NASDAQ is currently down by 322 points, 2.8%, and S&P is actually better now, down by only 42 points. So see you back again tomorrow. Until that time, have a great rest of the day. Thank you and good afternoon.